moves. I want to start with Philly. Obviously, the Joel Embiid injury is the biggest thing lingering over that team. But they made a couple moves. They shipped Pat Beverly to Milwaukee for Cam Payne in a move that I don't really understand. But they also traded for Buddy Hield. Furkan Korkmaz out of town. They get Buddy Hield. And at full health, this team is going to score so many points. Buddy Hield might be the best shooter Joel Embiid's played with, like as far as a catch and shoot guy. Oh, you know what? That's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
Somewhere JJ was like, what?
You consider the volume and the shots that he takes, Hield's up there, man. Like he's a very good shooter. But I appreciate you reminding me of JJ. Man. But you see like the vision here. It makes so much sense to add that kind of shooting on the perimeter. Joel has to come back. Like, I mean, this is just this move. I mean, it doesn't matter for this season unless he comes back. My assumption is they're going to sign him this summer. Hield is a free agent this summer. My assumption is they'll bring him back. But none of it matters if Joel's not healthy.
I don't think they can operate any other way. You're trying to win a championship. All right. If he's not right, we're not winning a championship.
Right.
So let's zero, like that might affect how much you're willing to put in a trade in terms of like the equity of the bet. But in terms of the kinds of bets you're looking at, the upside is if Joel is healthy and so I think that's the only way to look at it. And they didn't really give up a ton. And, some of the smaller moves they made, the moving Daniel House, moving Jaden Springer. And I think that the Beverly for campaign move is sort of signaling this is they've put themselves in the position. They got enough under the apron to be able to sign, I think, 2 buyout guys. So I think that they think they're probably getting Kyle Lowry and somebody else.
Yeah.
That's right. They cut Daniel House. To throw that out there, a little bit of housekeeping.
No, they traded him to Detroit. Who cut him?
Right.
Yeah.
Detroit just cutting a lot of people, man.
Yeah.
Just going. No, I like Buddy Hield for them. I think Dave, you alluded to it, best shooter they've had since JJ Redick. I think that's a good one. Another guy that can attack the closeout, put it on the floor a little bit, smart player, good movement guy, and kind of keep the stuff going there. And we all know, and Seth said it, you said it, man, if Joel Embiid comes back, great. If they're not winning anything if he doesn't. And I think they had to operate that way in that sense. I like what they're doing. I think them clearing 2 buyout spaces besides Kyle Lowry means they know one other guy that's getting bought out that they kind of want. And it's not that this league endorses tampering at all in any way, shape, or form, or that we have such a show named for that on our podcast network. But I'm sure there's been a couple of signals sent out, in terms of who's going to be out there. I mean, I think that's going to be something to keep an eye on and how they'll kind of improve it from there. And, campaign's not going to do much for them.
Well, and the thing about the buyout market that we should just reiterate is that the new CBA makes it very difficult for the top teams to be in the buyout market. So this is actually pretty smart move by Daryl Morey to get himself in a position to be able to pick up a couple of guys with less competition. Like this, are they the best team that has the ability to get a buyout? I mean, just off the top of your head, it feels like
yes.
Yes.
Does Phoenix have that ability or no?
No,
they don't.
I don't believe so. No.
We'll have to see how it shakes out with all
the trades and stuff
all
like
the guys
that.
they sent out in like the Roddy portion of the trades that they made. So maybe, but it's not clear yet.
I love the phrase "the Roddy portions of the trades."
Indiana here. Look, I understand that you have to make these moves based on the future and that they're likely to lose Buddy Hield for nothing. But they got worse. And it's a team that I don't know that they got a playoff run in them, but they definitely do. Like, I don't think they've got enough juice now to make a playoff run. Doug McDermott, who they picked up from the Spurs, that does not replace what Buddy Hield did. And again, I understand it. The NBA, you got to think longer term. But Andrew, I just hate to see a team that's been so good and fun kind of cut that a little short.
Yeah, I do too. They made the Siakam move, which felt like an all-in move. And then they made this move that was like, well, we're still all in, but only kind of. I don't love it because they're in position to be there at the 4-5. They dealt for McDermott to kind of like fill that void in the shooting role, but you're right. Like he doesn't provide the same amount of shooting. Like he's not going to shoot as many threes as Buddy did, and so I don't love it. I think that Buddy helped them kind of play their style because he would take so many threes and he did space the floor. So I'm with you. I think they got worse. I think it was a good, like, if we're just like praising people for asset management, like, okay, good job for asset management. But I don't love it for this season in particular.
I think that, I mean, we've talked about freeing up minutes, and I think Aaron Nesmith's been really good this year. Andrew Nemhard has given them some stuff. Getting more from Mathurin is probably, or getting more of a look at Mathurin is probably good too. But I think above all, it might signal that they, reading tea leaves here, might signal that they kind of are being cautious, maybe even pessimistic about Tyrese Halliburton's health the rest of the year. Because in much the same way that, like, you know, Philly's doing nothing without Embiid healthy, if like Hallie is so central to that team, I mean, he might be like on a Luka level with as integral to everything a team does for any team in the league. And you know, hamstrings are tricky, and so it might signal that this guy's a free agent. We're probably, you know, we don't want to push this guy this year because we don't want to turn this into a long-term thing. So that may be factored into their thinking as well.
Yeah, I'm not too. It's just like an for them in that situation. Like, I think they know their situation and know the injury situation better than anybody else. And it's not like them losing Buddy Hield doesn't, I think, make the difference for them. 4 or 5. I mean, they replaced it with McDermott, and you guys are right. He's not at that level or not. But I think them knowing their situation was probably them being more realistic. And, you know, I applaud a team for being realistic for once in the NBA.